into your radio. We've got one song, two versions to do a bit later on for you, and Matt's Magical Music moment as well. Also, we're going to have some wonderful new music on the way from a number of artists who released their songs on Friday, including a bit of Tapao. Now, why am I mentioning Tapao? Well, it's because this amazing band have been around for a while now, and they are literally the voice of the 80s. I think the sound of the 80s, and they started life back in the 80s when music was cool, music was fantastic, and they were certainly part of what I think is the golden age of music, 1987. Try and convince me, you won't do. I'm pleased to say that the head of that band, the one that we all know and love from those fantastic Top of the Pops performances and that amazing voice, Carol Decker, is here and she's live. Good afternoon. We need one of these. Where are you, Carol? Are you there? There you are. Hello.
Hi, Matt.
Hello. I was trying to get the round of applause going on like it was seamless in some way, but it didn't work. I don't know. Listen, thank you. It's been about 4 years since you were on this show, and I've got to say, you appear to be getting younger.
No, I think I must have some. I've got my beauty light on. I don't know. The listeners, can they see me?
They can see you. They can all see. We can all see you.
And I've got my shades on because I've had conjunctivitis. But I'm not.
You look
I suddenly
amazing.
realised that. I know, as an 80s pop star, I should just wear shades all the time anyway. Because
all the time. Well, Bono does.
Yeah, and we used to wear Ray-Bans in nightclubs.
Wow.
You know, and sort of bang into each other, stuff like that.
Do you know, I think we talked about this last time, but when I remember coming to Brannigan's on Broad Street in Birmingham many moons ago, I know, and you guys were performing live. That was the first time I saw you. Yeah. And I just remember how captivated everybody was. I know there were different times back then. Now you'd be so uncool. But, you know, those glasses just make you look like you own the world. It's fantastic.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. I know they're very forgiving, a big pair of sunglasses, but my hay fever was off the scale last week. And
I really?
got some kind of eye infection in my contact lenses. So I look like a vivisection rabbit for about a week. So they're recovering. Still got to keep the light out of them. So forgive me.
Of course you have. No, you're absolutely welcome. You can be in any state at all. As long as you're here, that's what we care about. But listen, we congratulations, because you've released another song which we're playing, which is awesome. We love it. It's I think it's the second release we've done the last 12. I said I'm not even in the band. Over the last 12 months, I can be in the band. I can play triangle. You're pumping out some great music. You and Ronnie together as Tapao. What's the secret? Because you bring out new tracks every time, and they sound as fresh as the day you appeared on our TV screens. Do you have a certain idea in your head of what Tapao music sounds like?
I never aim for a sound. I just think because it's me and Ron, it always gets that sound. You know, we've been writing together for 30 plus years now, and also I think obviously my voice sounds like me. You know, and I always do my own background vocals and harmonies and stuff. So I think that gives a certain blend to my voice that makes it very Tapao. But Ron and I are both. It's that weird sort of pop rock genre, you know. We do love a really accessible melodic pop song with great uplifting chords, and you know, we always say, please don't bore us, get to the chorus, and the song has to climb towards the chorus, and then we have a beautiful moment in the middle eight where we usually have lots of strings or a great solo or something, and then again that spinning message back out in the outro to reinforce it. And we do like straightforward pop writing, and Ronnie works really hard on the production, and he's the boffin, like we were just talking off air. He presses all the buttons, and I just sit there going, no, yes, no, yes, and that's exhausting, frankly.
So you wear the trousers in that relationship, clearly.
I have a clipboard and a glass of wine, and I go yes, no.
Well, it's worked.
Thank you. Well, you know, we just do what we do, really. We don't have a grand plan, and we were starting on a new album before the first lockdown in March 2020, and we had 3 songs in the can. And I just literally got all the vocals done like 5 days before Boris said stay home. And so Ron had all the files, so he was able to carry on with mixing it. And then we thought, well, what should we do? Should we wait? Should we finish the album or what? And we just thought, you know what, let's just put out some download singles, and we'll parcel it all up in some kind of album format later. So we put out Be Wonderful last year in May with a fantastic.
We were playing that. It's a great song.
Thank you. Did you see the video that my kids filmed? We did
I think no, I didn't. But I've read somewhere that your video was one of the most viewed. I think something to do with iTunes. I can't remember what it was now. I looked at a stat anyway. And it looked fantastic.
Oh, thanks. Well, my kids filmed it for me, and we did a comedy lockdown. So it starred our dog, our duck, our chickens, because we had to do it at home, and some of the kids' old toys that we got that were still in boxes somewhere. We used Mutant Ninja Turtles, loads of junk food, me in a onesie.
Brilliant.
So we just did a whole funny thing. So that's out on the Power Official YouTube channel. People want to go and see that. And then we've just put out Guess Who's Sorry Now, and it went to number 27 in the iTunes chart last week, which was fantastic because we haven't been in a big chart for a long time. So that really was really nice. I was really taken aback. So thanks everybody who helped with that. And now it's in the Heritage chart at number 13, which is a great.
Yeah, Mike Reed's chart, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, bless Mike, because he's done a great thing for us. So here's a little thing that the listeners may not know. So all the 80s channels are formatted to play the 80s songs. So they play our classic, iconic hits. I'm very, very grateful. So they won't play our new stuff. And all the channels that the other channels like Heart or Radio 2 or whatever, they just think we're too old. So they won't play our new stuff. So you sort of fall, so you fall in this. I mean, you tell me that Be Wonderful and Guess Who's Sorry Now don't deserve to be on the Radio 2 playlist, because they do.
Well, I'd have thought, I mean, you mentioned the word heritage, but that clearly it, isn't it? That you are part of our psyche, our culture musically, and you were huge. I mean, many other bands that were just as big as you in the 80s are not with us now and don't do anything. So why shouldn't we celebrate what you do?
Exactly, and a song should get onto a playlist on its merits.
Absolutely.
And that just doesn't happen now. They're just like, oh no, they're the 80s, we're not playing their new stuff, and then the 80s channels can't play your new stuff. So Mike invented the Heritage chart, which gives us a chance to, it's our own made-up chart almost.
It's a great, and you've got people like Shalimar and who else did I see on there the other day? There's everybody's in there, isn't there?
I recommend you'll take a look if you like your 80s music. You'll see your favorite 80s artist with some new tunes coming out, and you'll get to hear. Great. Yeah.
I think it's a shame. I mean, I know that famously Cliff Richard has talked about not being available on mainstream radio because of his age and people like that. But you know what? Tom Jones has been played a lot on mainstream radio recently, his new stuff. But then maybe it's because he's Tom Jones. I don't know.
Well, there are some people who are just national treasures, aren't they? And they float above all the rules, but that get applied to the rest of us. And I would never compare myself to Sir Tom, because he's an utter ledge of
absolutely,
as long as the planet's been going, so
hi Tom, if you're listening.
I'm not whinging, but I'm just saying it happens, and it absolutely does happen. And even Madonna said, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago, she just said Radio 1 said, we're not playing Madonna anymore. Do you remember that? It was all in
I do, and there was a number of artists like that
where they go, no. And I just think, the songs should go to if they deserve a place on the playlist, that should just be on the song's merit and not their perception.
Well, us at Black Country Radio, we love playing great hits. That's what we like to play, and you guys continually pump out those great hits. And yours, I think successes of the 80s, I mean, China in Your Hand and Heart and Soul, iconic pieces of music. And if you're continually putting out new songs, like Who's Sorry Now, we should be playing that, and we don't care. We don't care who does it, as long as it's a great song.
Brilliant. Well, the independent stations, that's what I say. Yeah.
Well, I agree with you completely. I mean, I would do. Of course I would do. But it's fantastic. I mean, look, Who's Sorry Now? We're going to play that in a bit for you and for our listeners as well. And congratulations on that song.
Do you? Sorry now.
You what? Sorry.
Guess Who's Sorry Now?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, Guess Who's Sorry Now. I didn't know it was a quiz. But I'm on it now. We'll make sure we call it what it is. Is it difficult to try though? Or maybe you don't try. Do you try and emulate the success of previous songs, or do you go, I like the sound of that, I'm putting it out there regardless?
No, I never have a plan. Never have a plan. I don't think it needs to be like that. We just work a song up from the ground, and we reach a point where we go, that is catchy. That's the whole thing. It's pop music. That is catchy. That is catchy. It appeals to us. I would listen to that. And that's all we ever do. That's the decision that we make.
Well, you were on the TV the other day because they're rerunning some of the Top of the Pops. And 1987, I've had this conversation with people before, I claim is the best year for music ever. Okay, honestly, and you are involved in that, and others are. I mean, the amount of songs. If you go back through the list of songs from 1987, Rick Astley
Yeah,
and they're all in there. Some of the songs, iconic piece of music.
it was a lively year. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were on Top of the Pops for your. You must have bumped into some crazy people in that time.
Yeah, God, all the names would elude me, obviously, but
Yeah, of
yeah,
course. Yeah.
whoever was in the charts with you at the same time, you would obviously be in the studio at the same time, and but it was quite a long, hard day. You would get chatting to some people. I got really friendly with Paul and Linda McCartney in the cafe. That
Wow.
was nice.
Wow.
Yeah,
Just drop those names there.
they,
I heard a massive thud there with Paul
yeah,
McCartney's
they
name. Just
came over to me because obviously it's a long time ago, and they said,
yeah.
"You remind us of our little girl Stella because she's a redhead," you know. And
Wow.
they kind of adopted me for the day, and
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Paul went up and got coffee in the horrible thin, yucky coffee in polystyrene cups for us. So he's very,
Television Centre back in the
yeah,
day.
and
Yeah.
quite a few years we were sort of, quite friendly. And then all my sort of peers, if you like, we were all very, very busy and all very protective. So it was a little bit more competitive back then. It's
Yeah.
much more friendly now, and we all meet at the big 80s festivals and stuff. It's all hail fellow, well met. Back then, you were sort of hoping, if you were trying to get in the top 5 and they were trying to get in the top 5, that they'd meet with an unfortunate accident or something.
Of course. Well, because it was such a difficult market to get into. And if you were on Top of the Pops, you knew that you've made that. And I think I saw a clip. I don't know if it was that one or another one with Wham's, probably an early one anyway, with Wham's first performance. And they only got on Top of the Pops because of a cancellation last minute. And it was their first TV appearance. And now, I mean, look what happened to George Michael as a result of that.
And that's understudy syndrome, isn't it?
Absolutely. I know. I'm just covering for someone better. I don't know who they are. We had Tony Hadley on a few weeks ago, and he was saying that he used to follow some of the big bands, Duran Duran and other people. They used to pass in the corridor and they'd say hi and stuff like that. Magical times, I imagine, for you.
Yeah, no, they were. We were all at the top of our game, and having international careers as well, which was super exciting. So I can remember one time we flew back from New York to do Top of the Pops, then went straight from Top of the Pops to Heathrow, and were thrown into a private jet to get us to Munich, I think, to do their version of Top of the Pops. And it was very heady. It was just fantastic. I'm so grateful that I experienced all of that.
And you had some success in the States as well, and that's something that eluded a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, we had one big hit, so at least we had one. Heart and Soul. It went to number 4 in the Billboard chart, and it stayed on the US charts for almost 6 months, and it still gets played now.
Well, I saw some stats actually on the I think it was the official charts, and they were saying in total you spent 77 weeks in the top 75, 55 in the top 40.
Yeah.
America,
it was fantastic. Yeah,
amazing. So we move forward, and here we are in 2021. You've got your new single we're going to play in a minute, and you're doing these 80 revivals, festivals, and things like that.
Yeah.
What's the plan? Because lockdown's affected everybody. I know you've got this a new album potentially coming out at some point with this new music on it.
Yeah, we've just got a few more songs to write because we've got brutally interrupted, like everybody did live last year. And then, a lot of my gigs are, fingers crossed, coming back online. They all got moved, postponed, a couple of big cancelled, sadly. And then 2022 is booking up pretty quickly. And I think all the European shows I had, which was scheduled for November 2020 up to Christmas, I think they're coming online for this year, November 2021 up to Christmas. So fingers crossed. But if people want to know what we're up to, just check out the social media. So we've got, Facebook, which is /Carol Decker, or I'm on Twitter, usually drunk and shouting about lockdown or something, And that's
I'm going to go and find you right now.
And I'm on @Carol Decker. And so if you want to know where we are, what we're doing, just jump on the socials and you can see if there's a gig coming to a town near you.
Or if you're shouting at inanimate objects about lockdown or whatever it is you've been doing. That sounds like a plan. Are you still living in Shropshire?
Oh golly, no, I left Shropshire 30 years ago.
Just thought I'd ask. You never know if you went back to your roots.
I've been back for work for sure. We've done big festivals in the Quarry, which is fantastic. But no, Ronnie and I moved out of Shrewsbury in '88, and he's a Shrewsbury lad. It's his hometown. It wasn't mine, but I grew up there. And then I was in London for a long time now, and I'm out in Oxfordshire, and Ron's in Monmouth. So, but he still has family in Shrewsbury, so he probably has more calls to go back. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it's a beautiful part of the world. I was there last weekend for a weekend away. It's just beautiful. The scenery is shocking. It's just beautiful. And anyway, listen, we've run out of time. We ran out of time about 2 minutes ago. What I do need you to do before we say goodbye, well, we're going to say goodbye. Then you need to introduce your brand new song. So we want you to do that in a minute. Thank you, as always, for being on. It's always a pleasure. Good luck with everything you're doing. Good luck with the album when it does come out. The Heritage Chart, which is superb. I love what Mike's doing with that. So good luck with that. So please tell us your new single, and we'll play it for you as if we planned it.
Well, thank you, Matt. So it's lovely to be on Black Country Radio, and I'm wishing you all lots of love and luck as we climb out of this horrible hole we're in. Let's all get back out there and come to a show. But for now, this is the new single by Tapao. Guess Who's Sorry Now. You are an absolute star. Thank you very much, Carol. Speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. Love. Bye. I can't